Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to do the update for Pando's eyeshadows. One of those projects that are so beloved by many people, and people are doing it in different ways. The way I do it is like this. I have 3 randomized shades from my whole collection. I have 2 shades that come from randomized palettes, but where I could choose the shade. Then I have 1 shade from a palette that doesn't yet have any pan in it. And the last shade comes from a focus palette where I eventually want to hit pan on all of the shades. So those are the 7 shades that I'm working on every month. Let's see how we've been doing. The first shade that I have used 8 additional times for a total of 14 uses comes from this palette. This is from Too Faced. It's the Natural Matte palette, and I have been working on the shade Nudie. This is how it looked like last time, and this time it looks like this. This is the shade right there, and I have been digging my brushes in there because I am using it in different ways. Sometimes, like today, I am using it on as a crease shade, and sometimes I use it as a contour shade. It works well as both, but the dip isn't great. I can see the dip. It's much more prominent now, but it's still just a very shallow dip. So this will be in here for quite some time, but it is a shade that I can work with, so I don't want to roll it out just because I can, because I have used it more than 10 times. This is staying in. I want another pan in this palette. The next shade I wish I could roll out, but I have only used it, how many times? I've used it 5 additional times, which isn't too bad for a shade like this, but that means that I have used it 6 times, and I am talking about the Christmas Eve palette and the shade Lemon Tart, or Lebem Tart, I think. Lemeb Tart, it says here. I mean, Otis, I really need to go through their names and spell checking and stuff, because they have a lot of spelling errors. Like it says Lemon Tart here, but in here it says Lemeb Tart. So I don't know why they don't check this before releasing, because I think all of the Christmas palette had spelling mistakes on them. Just saying. But yeah, this is the shade, and I have used it for a total of 6 times, like I said, and you can actually see a little bit of a dip forming. And I think, you know, this gives me hope for the future. I don't want to work on it until I have pan right now. I think I'm going to roll it out next month if I have the 4 additional uses on it to reach 10 uses. But it gives me hope because I already have a dip, and that's after 6 uses, and I have used it once or twice before. So, I mean, less than 10 uses and I can see a good dip. That's good. That's really good, I think. It's not as hard pressed as many of their other matte shades. But that one is staying in too. Then we get to the Bang Beauty palette, the Warm Natural palette, and I have been working on the shade number 6, and I have reached for this 9 additional times for a total of 12 uses. And this is how it looks like right now. So I really hope you can see a little bit of a dip forming there, but this is a weird shade, I would say. Well, not the shade in itself, but the formula, because it feels like it's very soft, and it feels like I would go through this rather quickly. But I have 12 uses and I can barely see a dip forming, so I don't know. It feels weird that it's not so hard pressed, and yet it takes so long to actually get a decent dip in. Yeah, that it just feels strange. I am wearing it today, but yeah, I can't see that much of a difference. So I gotta say, this bunch of shades that I have picked, they're turning out to be pretty hard to hit pan on. But don't discourage, we do have some pans. Wait for it. Then we rolled this one in last time. This is the Cobra palette from ZC, and I chose the shade 16, which is the last one right here. I have used it 5 times. I am wearing it today too. I have actually worked with a lot of these shades today, but this one is such an incredible shade. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous as a topper, but I actually have just a white base, so I just put that on to cut my crease, and then I put this one all over my lid, or like in the inner half, and something else on the outer half, and it works great. It's such a gorgeous shade, and I realized that ZC, they're really good at topper shades. I don't always like their shimmers otherwise, but the topper shades are top notch. They're really, really good. So I am happy to be working on this still. I think I can have pan on this until the next update, because did you see that dip? I mean, that's 5 uses. I definitely think we can have pan on this until the next update. The next shade comes from my Natasha Denona palette. I Need a Nude. I got to choose the shade. I chose the shade Sheen, which is a light shimmer, which I am wearing on the outer part of my eyelids today. And yeah, it's nice. The dip is getting a little bit deeper. And I have used this one 5 additional times for a total of 8 uses in this project. I think this might be the palette that I bring with me when I go on a ski trip next week. Maybe where I'll bring a bunch of palettes, and we'll see. But I think that might be the contender. Like, if I'm only bringing 1 or 2 palettes, that one might be it, because it's a great palette actually. So let's get to the pans, shall we? The next shade comes from my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This is the palette where I didn't have any pans before, but now I do, because I have hit pan on the very first shade, which is a shade I didn't really like, but when I use it on my lower lash, it looks pretty good actually. I can make it work. And that would probably be the way that I used it up if I tried to use it up, because on the lids it just didn't work on me. I mean, I did 1 or 2 looks where I felt like this looks pretty, this looks okay, but then, you know, coming into a different lighting or something, it just looked weird. It's a weird shade and I can't figure out what to pair it with. And so having it on my lower lash line, it just made it look a lot better, I think. So we have another palette with a pan. That is exciting. Let's move on to the next shade, which is the last one, and that comes from my Focus palette. I want all pans showing in here, and I was working on the very first shade, which I really thought I would have pan on until the last update, but I have used this 5 additional times for a total of 9 uses, and this is how the palette looks like right now. And so you can see that I have actually started using this shade as well, but this one is the one I hit pan on, and this one I've actually been working on for 2 months because I didn't reach that pan last month. I actually hit pan on that one instead. So I have 3 shades. This is the only one remaining. As you can see, I do have quite a bit of a dip in here because I am using this almost every single day together with a blue to make it a little bit more cool toned, and that's what I'm having in my brows as a brow color. And I think I've used it 21 times this year so far. So I think that's pretty good. If I can keep up the usage in this, I definitely think we can have a pan in this until the next update, and then we could roll this out and pick a new palette. That would be awesome. So that is my goal for the next update, to have this pan showing. And we're also going to bring in another palette without a pan in it, and I get to choose the palette and the shade, and I've chosen this. This is a humongous palette. I love it. It's also one of my most colorful palettes. And it's looking like this. Look at that. Look at all of those beautiful colors. And I am going to go with the very first shade again. This one up here, the lavender one. This is such a nice shimmer shade. I love lavender shades like this, and it's just mesmerizing. Let's swatch it. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is so beautiful. And it's very subtle too, so I think I can make something like more of an everyday purple look, maybe. I don't know. But that is the new shade. Let me swatch the other things for you and I'll be right back. So these are the shades that I am going to be working on. We have one like lavender shade and the rest are yellow to brown shades, and yeah, I hope we can get something a little bit more colorful next time maybe, But I am very happy with these shades right now. I feel like I can use them a lot. And I feel like I have found some everyday looks that I can incorporate a lot of these shades in. And so I'm very happy for that. And I think we can have great progress until the next update. Like I said, I think we can have pan on this one. I even think we can have pan on this one if I just do a few lavender looks. And I'm very excited about doing that. So I really hope we can have these two out. I also hope that we can have this one out by using it just 4 times more. And I hope to have this one out, hitting pan in the last shade. So I really hope I can roll out at least 4 palettes next month. That would be awesome. Let me know what you think. Do you think I can do it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and then I'll see you in the next one. Have a great evening. Bye.